Nevisians, residents of Nevis, greetings on the 1st of January 2017. I speak to you on behalf of the Nevis Reformation Party, a party which has brought good wishes to the people of Nevis since December of 1970. This party was founded by men and women who genuinely loved their island and wanted to see development and progress for all. A party that can proudly point to the record of achievement in every parish on the island and can say unequivocally that every family in this country has benefited because of the Nevis Reformation Party. The achievements are many and clear for all of us to see. Housing, water development, the Four Seasons, jobs, education, advancement in health services, the indisputable presence of government in action. It is all there for us to see. What does the new year bring? There will be a Nevis election in the new year. Are you ready for this? NRP is not only ready for an election, we are ready to run government, to have a government in Nevis again. A die-hard opponent of NRP said the other day, nothing is happening in Nevis, but the NRP is not ready. I can only advise him to read the book of Proverbs in the Holy Bible. We hear freedom fighters all around the world who fought to govern their own affairs, to run their own government. There are famous names like Mahatma Gandhi and Nehru of India and Nkrumah of Ghana. These men had millions of followers committed to freedom and independence for their countries. In the Caribbean, people speak in awe of Eric Williams, Bustamante, and Manley, all who bestrode the Caribbean like a colossus. Today, their legacy is preserved by a system of government that works for the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the people of Jamaica. Seriously, let us examine ourselves. We had freedom fighters too, led by Simeon Daniel, Ivor Stevens, and Ural Swanston, Levi Morton. We had revered fighters, Sonny Parry and Horace Liebert, Ron Liebert and Tessie Nisbet. Arthur Evelyn and Ural Swanston are alive today. Many others are alive who understood the dream of the Nevisian freedom fighters. George Seabrooks is dead, but Cabell Jeffers of Craddock Rose is alive and well. They were not fighting for money, for riches, for material things. You could not offer them money for a vote, for they were fighting for their country. They wanted their own government, a government that will develop Nevis. And we got it. We got it in 1983, September the 19th. The freedom fighters of Nevis, like the freedom fighters of Jamaica and Ghana, got their own government under the banner of the Nevis Reformation Party. We know what we got. We know our achievements. Now, where are we today? Here is where we are. The Premier of Nevis goes to St. Kitts daily to work. Mind you, to work. One CCM supporter said the grass is beginning to block the entrance to her property. But she can't see Vance or find him because he's working in St. Kitts. Does that make sense? Our Premier has a full-time job in St. Kitts, to the point that not even a little grass this dear lady can get cut. His lieutenant is not only based in St. Kitts, but he spends far more time in the air than on the ground. And Nevis is again managed from the ministry called the Ministry of Nevis Affairs, based in Barstair. Is this the legacy of Ivor? Of NRP? No, it is not. The rest of the Caribbean has consolidated the gains of their freedom fighters. Only Nevis has gone from whence it came. Only the CCM has been capable of expressing by their very actions a vote of no confidence in the ability of Nevisians to run their own affairs on Nevis. We get into arguments whether double salary or quadruple salaries are justified. The cold, simple fact is, nothing is happening in Nevis. Before 1983, little was happening here. That changed with the advent of the Nevis Island administration because our leaders focused on development programs for Nevis. It did not mean that we did not maintain a relationship with St. Kitts or with Bastia, but we had men and women who lived and worked on Nevis on a daily basis, dedicated to bringing here the Four Seasons Hotel, the Mount Nevis Hotel, Wally Beach, modernizing Nisbets. We had men and women making land available to Nevisians, building the Bank of Nevis, the Development Bank, the Nevis Corp, and the expansion of the Nevis Credit Union. What do we have now? A premier traveling to St. Kitts on a ferry boat and falling asleep in front of scores of Nevisians early in the morning. Well then, what time of the day will he work for projects for Nevis, to create jobs, to bring money to the treasury? Answer me that. Tell the people of Nevis the answer. The lady who needed her grass cut was hopelessly lost because she never connected her runaway grass to the bizarre arrangement of her premier falling asleep on a ferry boat on an early morning on his way to work in Bastia. We had our leaders on Nevis on a daily basis, and you were able to reach them any time of the day. Thus, 2017, we the Nevisian people, citizens and residents alike, need to make a change. The change of having their own well-run government working on behalf of the people of Nevis based right here in Charlestown. Even if the present arrangement is unique, it is not working in our best interest, and it does not make sense. In fact, what has been created is a void on the island of Nevis. There is no concerted or integrated plan for development, only an ad hoc attempt, like doing a road, painting some chains, a carbon copy of the pre-independent colonial Nevis. Surrogates of CCM are ripping off the funds just like prior to independence. Just see these surrogates buying trucks and heavy equipment. Just watch their trucks lying idle while the surrogates collect large sums of money from our treasury on a weekly basis for doing nothing. And nobody can touch them, rein them in. You see, these are the same surrogates you see distributing small sums of money on a regular basis, especially at election time, when the rest of us go jobless. You see, graduates of sixth form out of work for 2 years. Do we know why? Because our two senior ministers are ensconced in St. Kitts and have no time to attract or land the investors who were waiting offshore when the last government came in. That is the connection. Absenteeism of ministers while our economy languishes and our young people are out of work, and the surrogates build up their bank books with their ill-gotten gains. With this situation, will young people return home when they complete their studies abroad? Tell me, how can we keep our young men off the streets and away from a life of crime? Tell me. Tell me, when you see these vagabond surrogates living well off and on gains, what is the message? The message is being learned. A young man idling on the side of the road on his grass-cutting job, said to a passerby, who inquired why he was not working, "What is wrong with extortion?" Indeed, when we have examples like this, what is wrong with extortion? This year, we really need to make the change. Nevisians live in fear because of daily criminal activities. This Christmas Eve, I drove around the island. Stores were closed before 8 p.m. in Charlestown. Business places were barred up throughout the countryside. Our hospital is in a mess. Ask the hard-working nurses and other employees. Ask the doctors. Ask the pregnant mothers who are fleeing from Nevis to deliver their babies on St. Kitts. It still hurts as we recall the callous and unfeeling behavior of men and women in government as Sherry and Kingsley slowly died at the Alexandria Hospital. Daily, they viewed the container that could prolong their lives, where the government recklessly made life and death decisions that caused their lives to end prematurely. I'm told that at one time last year, of the 12 persons who were being dialyzed on St. Kitts regularly, 10 were from Nevis. Nevisians are in the USA, Guyana and Antigua, seeking attention, while CCM twiddle their collective political thumbs and leave the container in the yard unused. Yes, the Minister of Health took a team to Guyana and returned with a grand promise of a modern dialysis unit. We are still waiting for it. Next, it was a time on his turn to provide the units as well. But the election is now overtaking us. So some action, or an attempt of action, has to be taken. And we are therefore told of $20 million to be used to develop Alexandria Hospital. When will these promises cease at election time? When will we get off the merry-go-round of promises and more promises, free drinks, distributed at strategic places at Christmas time, and political surrogates with thick wads of dirty money buying votes? Let us briefly look at tourism. What is the outstanding feature of tourism on the CCM? Tell me. Do we have increased visitor arrivals? I am told that for the first time, the Four Seasons Hotel was less than 100% full at Christmas time. 2 weeks before Christmas, Nisbet's, the leading or one of the leading hotels on the island, had only 2 guests. I flew to San Juan in November on a 7-seater. There were only 3 passengers on board. My colleague told me that the Cibone came in a few weeks ago. The Cibone carries about 35 passengers. There were only 3 passengers on board for Nevis. Public relations is a thing of perception. Let us deal with the realities of life. The Minister of Tourism has failed to deliver the goods. So has the Minister of Health. The gentleman is a failure. You, the people, must decide if you want him back in Nevis to continue his journey of failure. We no longer have a Ministry of Education. We have no policies for education. And our teachers are left to do the best they can with as little equipment as possible. Teachers have no chalk, no duster, no brooms to sweep with, and no mop to clean the premises. They and the children now have to raise funds to purchase these essential articles instead of pursuing the business of teaching and learning. What motivates teachers? They are among our most strategically placed government workers. They are neglected and abandoned, and they view with dismay and frustration the double-salaried ministers of government away from their desk, even as their salaries increase virtually on an annual basis. The teachers' salaries, of course, remain stagnant. I am sure the charade of quadruple salaries this Christmas could not have settled comfortably in their hearts and minds. We see little or no effort at promotion of agriculture and sporadic attempts at a disjointed housing program. To be blunt, we see failure everywhere. If I paint a bleak picture, the future does not have to be bleak. Everyone speaks proudly of the achievements of the NRP 4 years ago. It is easy to remember. It is still very visible. Let us therefore make the change back to a government on Nevis, work in Nevis for all the people of Nevis. Let us change to the party of hope, action and deliverance. Let us in 2017 once again lift up the People's Party, the Nevis Reformation Party. In this new dispensation, I promise you that the NRP will immediately do a number of things. Firstly, we'll start a three-pronged attack on crime. We'll work with the police to protect every resident on the island of Nevis 24 hours a day. We will create jobs immediately for the most vulnerable persons in Nevis to keep them off the streets and out of trouble. The school system will be required to work along with parents and the community to solve the problems of poor discipline, delinquency, and every sign and early signs of criminal behavior. 2. We shall put in place an integrated program of investment and development that will create jobs and provide funds to run the government in Nevis. Projects will include another hotel to match the Four Seasons and working with the owners of the Four Seasons to restore that hotel to its old state of glory. This expansion will also include the development of the seaport, which will be treated as a priority, and we will move quickly to develop health tourism once again on the island of Nevis. 3. We shall upgrade the Alexandria Hospital with equipment to assist in improved medical services, and we'll also have our kidney patients dialyzed right here at Alexandria on the island of Nevis in the first 12 months in office. 4. Every effort will be undertaken to turn around our education program. Teachers will be sponsored at home and abroad, and a batch of incentives shall be instituted to promote and support our teachers to be effective and comfortable in the workplace. We shall seek to strengthen the Nevis Island administration to have more powers in the ministries of health and education, and to restore respect to the Nevis Island administration. 5. We shall maintain a working relationship with any federal government on Syncits to ensure that monies belonging to the people of Nevis come to Nevis. However, we will not be part of any extortion, pay off or blackmail, which seems to be part of the present arrangement. 7. We shall seek to build up the Nevis Island administration to a level where the people of Nevis, when they're ready, can hold a referendum to determine their destiny, their future. 8. We shall put into place the Public Accounts Committee, the Office of the Opposition, and hold regular meetings of our House of Assembly to discuss and implement legislation for the good governance of Nevis. 9. All matters relating to salaries of Parliament and ministers of government will be and must be done by dialogue with the people of Nevis who elect us all and who finance the NIA with their taxes. 10. We shall remove all practices of the surrogate system where people are paid from the Treasury for doing nothing, and where the people's money is used to buy political patronage and support, and where wrongdoing is not addressed because government is compromised. My people, I have put to you 10 points summarizing what we plan as a government to do in the next dispensation. I therefore tell you again that in spite of what we are encountering, there is hope. There is hope for 2017. there is hope for the future. And let me tell you, regardless of what people say, the Nevis Reformation Party is ready to run this country again. We have done it twice, and we were great at doing it, and we'll be great at doing a job on behalf of you, the people of Nevis, again. On behalf of my colleagues of the Nevis Reformation Party, on behalf of my wife and family, I wish all of you a great new year. We must work hard, but hard work does not kill. Let us once again give this country direction and navigate the storms and rocks that seem to be in our way so that we can sail into smooth and comfortable waters. Thank you, and may God bless you.